Like many of you, I really enjoy theater. We're blessed, as Kalamazoo has a lot of theater. Because Face Off Theater Company stands out among the rest, from community theater all the way through Miller Auditorium productions. At our program council meeting to determine recipients for the programming year, I suggested Face Off Theater Company. I've seen about 6 of their productions, including Crowns, Rich Soil, and Detroit 67. Joining us this morning is Marissa Harrington, the artistic director and one of the founders. Thank you, Marissa, for taking the time to give us more in-depth telling of its mission.
Thank you for having me. I actually think I have another founder on here, Bianca Washington. There she is. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for having us. First of all, I would just like to say we have been in existence for almost 6 years, and it is still incredibly humbling
Yes.
to hear just words of affirmation and encouragement. And so thank you for that, first and foremost. And thank you for even considering support for us today. As Kimberly said, my name is Marissa Harrington. I am one of the founding members of Face Off Theater Company, accompanied this morning by Bianca Washington, who is also a founding company member. We are both still members of the company and still very active in the day-to-day and business of the company. And we just wanted to talk with you this morning about who we are and what we do, and just share our heart and some exciting things that we have unfolding for us this year, 2021. So Bianca, did you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I just want to say to Marissa and Kimberly, thank you so much I almost started to cry when Kimberly was talking about all the shows she's come and seen. And I just thank you so much for, just your support. And it just makes my heart just so happy this morning, especially at a time where we're not able to actually go into the physical theater. And we're trying right now very hard to, as Marissa and I will, have some time to talk about some of the things that we're doing right now virtually. But again, my name is Bianca Washington. I'm one of the founding members. I met Marissa 40 years ago. Not that long, but we just connected and clicked, and we're able to get with other women of color here in Kalamazoo and create this company. And we're so glad that we've been able to share this work here in our community that is so valuable and so important. And it is truly a passion, heart, body, mind, soul, spirit project and company for the both of us. And so we're just so thankful to be here in this community. And lastly, for me, what my role is in the company, besides everything else kind of, surrounding, is I work with youth. And so a lot of the youth productions that you might have come and seen, I have had the honor and privilege of directing, and also have assisted with the internship program that we have too as well with our company. So again, so happy to be here today.
Thank you, Bianca. So I just wanted to give a little bit of background to Face Off Theater Company. We were founded in 2015 in partnership with the Black Arts and Cultural Center. Bianca and I actually met working on a show that we were producing with the Black Arts and Cultural Center as a part of their theater program. This was prior to Face Off Theater Company. The Black Arts and Cultural Center always had 2 shows a year, one in the spring and one in the fall. And we were asked to introduce to one another and asked to produce a show called The Piano Lesson by August Wilson. And at that point, it was very evident to us that the Kalamazoo community needed more representation. I am originally from Los Angeles, California, the home of Hollywood. So I'm not a stranger to the world of the arts and entertainment. And one of the things that was really awesome when I moved to Kalamazoo, begrudgingly, because I was like, there's no theater there. What am I going to do? And then I got here and surprise, there is an abundance of theater, an abundance of the arts in general. And it was such a pleasant surprise. And so it was just so encouraging to me. I would say that one of the things that was a challenge for myself and Bianca and others like us is that the opportunities, however, for artists of color in Kalamazoo was slim to none. And Bianca attended Western Michigan University's theater program, as did I. Bianca graduated several years prior to myself, and upon my graduation, we just kind of took a step back, Bianca, myself, and the other 4 founding members who were also Black women and graduates of Western's either theater program or creative writing program specializing in playwriting. We took a step back and we said, we want to continue this work outside of school. None of us are moving right now. So, I have a family. I'm married with children. I was not going to be relocating to New York or Chicago or going back home to Los Angeles. I'm here. And that's my story. But, each of us as individuals had our own similar stories of, I'm not leaving Kalamazoo, but I would like to continue the work that I've been doing. And so from that, Face Off Theater Company was born. That and a relationship with the Black Arts and Cultural Center, who had already been doing this work. And it was, Bianca, correct me if I'm wrong, but it was definitely an interesting transition from being just merely artists that love to create with one another and jumping into a business venture.
Yes. And jumping in is the key word.
Jumping in with both feet and elbows and arms and wrists. And so we learned a lot we grew very quickly and learned a lot about being creatives and being businesswomen and how the two of those merge, and all with the underlying purpose and passion of bringing diverse and innovative theater to the Kalamazoo community theater scene. And we had tremendous success in our first season. So much so that it was a little bit scary.
Yes.
Because it was just overwhelming. And I think one of the things that we learned, or we're able to learn or glean from that, is that the community was waiting. The community was waiting for this. They were waiting for stories that weren't being told, or were being told, but only once a year. Or every other year, right? And so having a theater group in town that now is saying we are committing to all year round theater for Black voices, for people of color, for just in general diverse voices, it was groundbreaking at the time. And so, we were very humbled by it all, still continue to be. And we have been fortunate, with the help of the Black Arts and Cultural Center, to be able to continue to produce now going into 2021. And like I was saying earlier, being around for 6 years officially as a theater company.
And can I add something too, Marissa?
Yes.
Not only have Marissa and I and our other company members been able to serve as directors and actors and playwrights, but we've also open up the community for people of color who want to learn how to stage manage and who want to learn how to direct, and who kind of we've brought under our wing to help facilitate them in this part of theater, in the arts, where they might not have had a chance otherwise. And that's opened so many doors for the people that we have mentored, really, throughout the years that we've been here. And we've been able to really build relationships with people in the community. And as Marissa said, people were waiting for stories that were reflecting their lives in many different ways. And also the people that we've worked with and have brought into, our company in those ways, they've been waiting too for an opportunity to actually stage manage and costume design work that also speaks to their stories of life. And so that has truly been a great benefit to the community as a whole, that we've been able to, a lot of students coming out of Western, students of color, they're trying to find their way. They're trying to, really honestly gain more experience before they, launch off into New York or launch off into LA or other parts of, doing regional theater. And they've been able to come with us, to us, and work with us and gain some more experience. There's a student named, she's actually Karishma from K College. She's actually back in LA, but she's done several shows with us right when she was fresh out of school, and really honestly just really feeling like I want to do this for the rest of my life. And it has been a privilege to see these people grow. And now she's in LA, and guess what she's doing? She's teaching theater. She's out of school teaching. She's a drama teacher. I mean, it has just been so humbling. And I'm just so thankful for just being here in Kalamazoo. I did leave after school and do the starving artist literally situation. So when Marissa said we all, were basically here in Kalamazoo to stay, that was true, because I did my stuff and ate my beans and rice, and I was ready to come back home. And but what a jewel and a gem, to come back home and to create this company. And we did have to learn very quickly. But we did have that support of the Black Arts and Cultural Center and people willing to just kind of help move us along. So, yeah.
And speaking of support, it has been, I think, one of the most awesome things about this experience is that our audiences are extremely diverse. Every single show that we have, when I look out into the audience, it, to me, is representative of what theater should look like. It is all different ages, socioeconomic statuses, educational backgrounds, race, religion. I mean, the most diverse audiences that you can think of. And theater traditionally is not that. Theater traditionally can be very separated and segregated. And I think that being in the Kalamazoo community, Face Off Theater has had a unique opportunity to bring people together. And we do so intentionally. We do so in the shows that we choose, the stories that we tell, but also after every single show, it is a part of our mission to have talkbacks, to have community conversation. And in this way, we facilitate people coming together. We facilitate people reaching across the aisle to someone that they may never have crossed paths with, to have conversation, to hear different perspectives. And we have been doing this since our inception. And it is always a powerful experience. And I really think that that has contributed a lot to the diversity of our audience, because people know that they can come to our shows and it's a safe space, right? I just want to talk briefly. I can talk to you guys all day about Face Off Theater, but I just want to talk to you briefly about, you've heard about where we've come from, and I would like to speak about where we're going. Like we said, we have had a long-standing relationship with the Black Arts and Cultural Center, and are so thankful and grateful to have had the opportunity with the safe space of a fiduciary to grow the company. And we have now come to a spot where we have grown and continue to grow, and we'll be branching out on our own as our own 501c3 this year. So, and you all heard it here first. We have not publicly announced that yet. So we're extremely excited about that. When Bianca and I and the other founders first started the company, we originally said that after 5 years, that we would want to branch out on our own and start our own 501c3 and be independent as a theater company. And so we are doing that, and it is super exciting. It's also a little bit scary, leaving the nest. But we are so happy and excited, and we're going to be working on that, or are in the middle of working on that right now. We are also changing our location. So we are leaving our home of the Epic Center, where we have been for the past almost 6 years, and we are moving to Portage Street to Dormouse Theater. That's going to be our new home. So a lot of change coming in 2021, and in the midst of a pandemic, we are still kicking, and I owe Bianca, the rest of the company, we owe that to the community. We owe that to our supporters that, when we had to cancel the last half of our season last year, we still had online programming, and we had people that were supporting us through the online programming that we had last year. And it gave us the courage to continue what we were doing, and also to continue with a season for this year. So we will be reopening this year and this season. Our first show will be in February. With us moving our venue to Dormouse Theater, we will be able to create a socially distanced experience for our guests that is safe. We will be following, obviously, COVID protocols, but we have the blessing of not being worried about our overhead. Right? We are able to keep our costs very low with our shows. And so our main, I guess, the main purpose for us with our theater is to pay our artists, pay our actors, and to provide free shows to the community. So because we have such a low overhead, we can open our doors, soft opening in February, because we don't have to be worried about selling tickets in order to survive. So we are extremely excited about that. We are ready to reopen, and hoping that our reopening can maybe serve as an example to the rest of the Kalamazoo theater community of maybe taking a step out there, and the possibilities that are involved in wanting to continue working in theater in the midst of COVID. So we are very excited for that. Thank you so much for having us here. Yes. We, as you can tell, Bianca and I and the rest of the company, we're very committed to this community. We're very committed to this purpose. And this year of all years, we need the community's support, not only in our transition, but also all theater right now needs the support of their communities to continue to exist and continue to thrive, because art for us is activism, and art is change. And so we would like to continue to do that. So thank you so much. for having us this morning. Thank you for being willing to hear us and hear our hearts. And I give it back to you all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.